OpenMed School. In the last session, we have discussed about the types of learners. Today, I'll be discussing predominantly on the note taking. I'm Dr. Andrews, Professor of Medicine, consultant neurologist. So, the main types of learning are one is visual, which we have already mentioned. Second is the auditory. Third is the reading and writing. And finally, the kinesthetic. You have to adapt your learning style adapt the method of learning depending upon your style of understanding. That is the most important thing. So today we have got in medical science, there is vast content, there is a time pressure, you have to acquire clinical skills. So yeah, the traditional thing is textbook for learning. Last time I mentioned about this is a gold standard, comprehensive, peer-reviewed, and authoritative. And by not only reading textbook is sufficient, you should write down notes. This will improve the understanding of the concepts and also improve the memory, and later you can retrieve it. In the era of computers, artificial intelligence, you may be thinking whether we are going backwards by asking you to use your pen and notebook. So in many universities outside India, they are going back to pen and paper, especially in exams with the advent of ChatGPT. So note taking is essential, is important when you are listening to a lecture or when you are listening to other resources like a YouTube. You have to write down notes. Then only the concept will be more meaningful to you. We can understand, assimilate, and write down. So I'll be going on how to write down the notes. The four important things: never write down everything. So many students, just like a transcript, they'll be writing down whatever the teacher says. So this will only improve your handwriting. You cannot, your knowledge will not improve. So never write down everything. And don't grab the exact phrases. What you should do is you should understand the concept and write down in your own words so that you will remember it at a later time. Third important point is add flesh to your notes within 24 hours, because whatever you have written down will eventually disappear. You will not remember it unless you reinforce it. So within 24 hours, you read other textbooks or discuss with others and give flesh to what you have written in the classroom. And I will again stress, use handwritten notes. These are the four essential things that you should remember when you are noting it down. Again, I will again reinforce, you should use the pen and paper or notebook, because it has been found that students who use laptops in class, they lost considerable time in multitasking and they had significant distraction. And most importantly, it has negatively affected their learning, including understanding the course material and overall performance. Around significant reduction in the performance in the exams was noted in those who are using laptops or other gadgets in the classroom. Even when laptops are used solely to take notes, they are still impairing learning because of their use results in shallower processing. That is when you are using and typing, what happens is just you're putting down the data without assimilating into your brain. So when you are using the pen and writing it down, you understand things and you are writing down in your own words. That is again, I'm telling what is the importance of this note taking in the era of artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and all other modern gadgets. Here you can see everything. So for a visual learner, it will be good. But in order to remember things, you have to write it down. Hope this point is clear. So the new trends in learning, there is a computer aided instructions are there, virtual patients are there, augmented reality is there, human patient stimulation is there. These are the newer trends in education that you will be coming across in your later years. So this is what is called virtual reality and Julian glasses. You can see the things like this. These are all good things. Again, there are simulated patients, mannequins are there. You can understand things better way. The art can be used for learning things by drawing things, and this will also help in learning. So the modern gadgets are very much helpful in understanding things. Even with all these things, this is not a replacement for teacher. These are only aids for teaching. And many people think that by 1940, 1950, sorry, 2040, 2050, the typical classrooms will disappear. This will become obsolete. There will be disintegration of teaching, but still there will be a role for teacher. That is what I believe. So the take-home message, everyone has a mix of learning style. Adapting strategies makes learning efficient. You can combine visual, that is diagrams, auditory, that is lectures, kinesthetic, skill labs, reading and writing textbooks are very important. So many times when you are told something, you forget. Teach, you may remember, and involve, we can learn. So as mentioned, don't grab faces. I already mentioned, add flesh within 24 hours. So typing encourages verbatim typing. There is shallow processing, as already mentioned. Handwriting forces summarization and deeper learning. Studies show that handwritten notes improves exam scores. One of the method is the Cornell method, where you divide the paper into like this. An upper part, this is for writing the title, and this lower part right for writing the summary, and this portion you write down the key points or keywords, and the details will be written here. This is for the Cornell method. So this is what I have mentioned. You draw the paper into this in the upper part. You write down the topic heading and date, title. Divide into three parts. You're drawing a line like this. Here, this is a Q column. Use the keywords and key questions. And here is a note-taking column. In the lecture class, you may write down the notes in your own words here, and uh, in the afternoon or within 24 hours, you write the keynotes here, or the keywords it can be written here, and add flesh to this by writing additional diagrams, formulas, etc. can be written here and make it more memorable. So this is a template. Today we have said about the Cornell notes. So this is a column for writing the cues. So why not copy verbatim? Add flesh, handwriting versus typing. These were the summary. So when you're writing notes, you can write down the main ideas, diagrams, details, flowchart, etc. Don't write every word, focus on meaning. So second is add details within 24 hours. That is the add flesh. Handwriting versus typing. Handwritten produces deeper learning. You may expand this. And the summary, if the effective notes processes, summarize, review, and use corner layout. So that is the message of today's class. So finally, take home message, the classroom, no gadgets, no typing, take written notes, and use the 4 rules which I have already mentioned, and the Cornell method of note writing is a good thing. Hope this was useful to you. Stay tuned for further lectures on medical education and the learning methodologies. Thank you.